One tension that's been really mismanaged in most organizations since the pandemic is, on one hand, embracing collaboration and yet at the same time embracing independent work. Now, independent work's pretty straightforward, letting people put their head down, get things done. And I think through the pandemic, we realized that we get a lot done independently, and we divided and conquered, lots of times didn't even see each other. And yet I think now we're realizing that we're missing out on the synergy that comes from real collaboration. When 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3, it equals 5 or 10 or 100. Well, that's because we're pushing each other and challenging each other and finding that energy that comes from working together. So before you switch from independence back to collaboration, I'd encourage you to think, for your team, what does the ideal blend of collaboration and independence look like? Because it's different than any other team that I've ever worked with. You know, I remember years ago, I was encouraged to think about it from a sports team's perspective, meaning that certain types of teams require more collaboration than others. Certain types of teams are fine to work more independently. For example, there's relay teams, track and field relay teams, where at the end of the day, you gotta stay in your lane, you got a role to play, but at the end of the day, collaboration is just about the handoff. You gotta make sure that you hand off well, and that team doesn't need as much collaboration as, say, a hockey team. You know, in a hockey team, everyone on the ice is playing together, you're passing back and forth, you're making in-the-moment plays, you're working at a highly collaborative level. Well, you know, a third team that would be true for lots of you would be more of a competitive gymnastics team. You know, in a competitive gymnastics team, certainly the gymnasts are competing collaboratively to win the gold medal for their country or for your company. But at the same time, they're competing against each other. And they want gold for themselves, which is true in lots of situations where we're in sales and marketing. So what I will tell you is this. The first thing you want to do is think about, what does our team look like when collaboration and independence are maximized? Not a little bit of both, but fully getting the values of both sides. What type of team would that look like? Ask your team to think about the sports team that comes to mind. And then spend some time talking about, if we were to do a few things in the season ahead to maximize both collaboration and independence, what would those things be? Because I'll tell you this, coming out of the pandemic, very few organizations have got their head around how to leverage that tension. And if you can get all the upsides of collaboration and at the same time the upsides of independent work, you will tap into a huge competitive edge in the season ahead.